Hello and welcome to Renew, the show about the College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University. The College of Forest Resources supports and enables the conservation, management, and wise use of our natural resources. I'm your host, Leslie Berger. Today's show will feature one of the three departments within the College of Forest Resources, the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts. Here to represent that unit today is Dr. Hyung-Suk Lim. Did I pronounce the name?
Yes, correct.
Also known as Thomas. So thank you for joining us on the show today.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So tell me about your path to the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts.
Well, I studied all my bachelor and my master's study in Canada. And actually, after I got my PhD in timber engineering, I got recruited by Mississippi State University, Sustainable Bioproducts Department. And they're trying to bring in this timber engineering field into the program. So like that's how I got like brought down here. But it's different. It's because I came from Northwest to all the way down to Southeast, which is
very different.
It is different.
Yes.
But I like it a lot. It's the department is really supportive, and from the timber engineering perspective, which I'm going to talk about, it's the focus that I have to put on is a little bit different, but it's still really attractive and interesting. So.
Okay, well I understand you work in the field of cross-laminated timber, or what's known as CLT. So could you explain what that actually is?
So CLT is simply just a thick panel product that has, it consists of those dimensional lumber. So we are using dimensional lumber as the lamb stock to build a thick panel, which is shown here. So it can consist up to, for now, I think 9 ply, which gives 13.5 inches of thickness.
Wow.
And the width, the commercialized products come in width of 4 feet and start from the 16 feet and longer. So it's a panel product which is somewhat competing against concrete and also steel. But simply, it is an engineered wood product, and some say it's a plywood. Some say it looks like a glue lamp, but with the alternating orientation. But I would say combination of both. So it's just a combination of both. It's just this thick, the way that it manufactured, and the way that it's behaving under a certain type of loading. And it's different compared to the plywood and the glue lamp. And obviously, the application is totally different.
Yeah. Right. So what does your research look at then?
So there are like 4 or 5 researches that I'm carrying out with my graduate students and also my undergraduate research assistant. The first one that I want to talk about is development of treated CLT. So for the southern climate, I see there should be, we can actually expand this CLT into other markets, which is for the exterior uses too. Because for now, CLT is being only used for the indoor. It's limited. And the reason is it's vulnerable to moisture, so it interacts with the environment.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do with my student, who's going to talk more about that project, it's coming out with the treated CLT, so it can be used for outdoor.
Right.
And so what engineers and the architects are doing right now is they're trying to control this moisture effect by developing designing an envelope system. But what we are trying to do is we're trying to look from the material side of it and just modify the whole material rather than putting different layers on it. So that's one. And the other one is I'm carrying out this reinforcement of compressive strength. So when this panel gets used in the construction, so let's say this is the whole floor, so it's going to interact with the vertical members too.
Sure.
So when there's a vertical member sitting on it or pushing from the bottom, it's going to crush this wood perpendicular to the grain,
sure.
And which is actually 5 to 10 times actually lesser than how much it's strong in this longitudinal direction. So now what I do is, what we're trying to do is we're trying to put the dowels, like hardwood dowels, in a different grain.
Right.
So now it's converting the
The energy.
Yeah,
direction.
from one direction to the other direction,
Right.
so it can be used as a reinforcement. And this is an undergraduate research project, and we're possibly looking into using different screws, different reinforcement as well, and
Right.
see how much of the compressive strength can be increased. And also, I'm trying to develop optimized CLT product, so using less of the material, but without compromising the mechanical properties. That's another project that I'm
Right.
trying to carry out. And that's I think that kind of wraps up of like what I
Wow.
do for now.
Yes, well, that's very interesting. So we've only got just maybe 30 seconds left, but
Yeah.
this idea of sustainability then, you're taking wood products and being able to use those in a way that we could perhaps replace the use of steel or concrete?
I think the better way of using it is try to combine them together and use it as a hybrid structure.
Excellent.
That's what's being used in Portland, which is called the building called Carbon 12. That's one thing. And even in UBC, they built up to 18 stories residential building for students.
Right.
And that one has actually hybrid construction as well.
That's
so they
excellent.
have the concrete core, and they have the floors that's built in CLT and hanging out from it. So.
Well, I'm really looking forward to visiting with your graduate
Yep.
student here in just a minute. We will return after a commercial break, and we'll learn a little bit more about the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts at Mississippi State University.
Want a career as big as the outdoors? Want to have an impact on the environment? The College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University delivers hands-on training, ensuring clean air and water, wildlife habitats, and a sustainable environment. Creating new wood products and retooling old ones for today and tomorrow. Find a career in whatever path you choose. Majors in forestry, natural resource and environmental conservation, sustainable bioproducts, wildlife, fisheries, and aquaculture. Want a career as big as the outdoors? Choose the College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University.
Imagine a world where there's enough food to feed everyone. We are at Mississippi State University, where we ring true.
Heard an echo down the well where my heart once hung. Hear my name ringing, ringing when I'm done. Hear my name ringing, hear it ringing. Hear my name ringing.
Welcome back to Renew, the show about the College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University. Joining me now from the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts is graduate student Sachin Tripathi.
Yes.
Did I do close?
Yeah, you are
Okay.
right.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
So tell me how you came to be here in the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts.
Well, it's a long story. After I completed my bachelor's degree in civil engineering back in my country, Nepal, I was like searching for research project in which I am interested. And at that time, my aim was to become a timber structure designer.
Okay.
And during this search period, my sister told me that there is opening of a research assistantship in the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts at Mississippi State University. And then the research project, when I looked to the research project, I was really interested. So I applied for the degree and then I got accepted.
That's amazing. It's a very good sister to point this out to you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you found your way here. So tell me a little bit about the project that you're doing.
Well, my master research project title is Study of Mechanical Properties of Cross-laminated Timber composed of treated dimensional lumber. So here is an example of the CLT panel made from the treated dimensional lumber.
Okay.
First of all, we treat these lumbers into the treating company, and then we manufacture the CLT panel in our laboratory at MSU.
Okay.
So we have the this research project is well suited for the southern part of the United States, where the weather condition is a bit different from the northern part.
Right.
Here we have very high humidity, and also the summer it's
Very hot.
very hot. So instead of confining the applicability of CLT in the interior one, we are trying to expose it.
To weather conditions.
Yeah.
Right. So is there glue that's right now, there's glue that's holding this together, and that's in part what is not good about getting wet. It's just like if you had plywood, we were talking about earlier, that glue dissolves in the heat and the moisture. So you're trying to find something that is weather resistant to put outdoors.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually it's the timber as well as glue,
Okay.
because since, as we all know, that wood is a biodegradable material, so we are trying to expand the life cycle of the timber by applying the preservative in it.
Okay.
So, and the properties are mechanical properties similar as mechanical properties and other properties. They can be different from the CLT panel, who are composed of untreated one.
Sure.
Because timber is made from chemical compounds, and adhesive is also chemical, and preservative is also chemical.
Sure.
So there can be interaction between
Sure.
all of them, or maybe two of them can react. So it will be interesting to see.
Sure. Where do you see yourself in, say, 5 years?
Well, like since 2 years, my aim is to become a timber structure designer, and back in my country, it's like around more than 50% is covered by forest. But there are no any timber structures that are made from experts. So my aim was to be that expert and return to my country, use the skills and knowledge that I gained from Mississippi State University and utilize there.
To help the
Yeah.
people in your home country. I have thought many times about how difficult it must be for a student to come to a country that's very different than their own. Do you have any fond memories of your time here at Mississippi State?
Well, yeah, like in my country, the culture, the tradition, everything is different from my country. Here we can have students from all over the country. So I think it's another platform to understand the religion, culture, and tradition from all over the country. So I find it very interesting, fascinating.
Well, I'm sure that works both ways, because many of us are not going to get to Nepal,
Yeah.
and so you bring a little bit of your country here, and I love having international students here. My son is actually studying in Ireland, so I am now the parent of an international student. So I appreciate you coming and sharing a little bit what you're doing, and I'm glad you're here at Mississippi State. I hope that it's a mutually beneficial arrangement for you. I thank my guests for joining me here on Renew today. I hope you've learned a little bit more about the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts and the College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University. I've been your host, Leslie Berger, and I hope that you'll join me again in the near future.